Striving for perfection seems to be something that humans do really well. Yet, we're already perfect. We did not come here to be perfect. We came here to make mistakes. We came here to feel. We came here to think and maybe overfeel and overthink. Our power comes in embracing the unknown. And that is one of the elements of becoming a professional human being.
Love Luna.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Self-Love Lessons with Luna. I'm having such a blast hanging out with you all every single week, and I've had an awesome week this week because I've been at the Seven Sisters Festival, which is an all-female empowerment festival that's held in Victoria every year, and I just get to jam with some really amazing individuals, and we get to talk about all sorts of crazy stuff. There's things about menstruation, there's things about menopause, there's things about connecting to your inner sex, there's things about connecting to your soul and your heart and your spirit and your physical. There's all sorts of woo-woo stuff and all sorts of, just beautiful, enlightened beings who are there doing the work. And it's such a wonderful experience that it kind of got me thinking, as it always does, it's sort of how I roll, about being human. Well, what also really got me thinking was that I went out today with toothpaste on my shirt. It's not this one, but I went out today with toothpaste on my shirt. I went for a walk and I greeted people and hello, how you doing? Doing all the stuff, keeping my physical distance from people, the 1.5 meters, because it's crazy times we're living in. And I looked down and realized that I had toothpaste on my shirt. And I'm so silly like that. There are things that I do on such a regular basis, and I know that I talk lots of beautiful things and I help a lot of people to get to know themselves and to fall in love with who they are. So on this week's episode, I really find it so important to talk about our humanness. And what does it actually mean to be human? Because I think that we're all so busy trying to get it right that we forget that that's not what we came here for. We came here to be human, to walk out with toothpaste on our shirt. And for the mothers out there, I'm pretty sure that you've walked out with far worse things on your shirt and didn't really notice, or did notice and didn't even really care, because who's got the time or the energy, right? So I'm going to talk about being this professional human being. Seems like a strange thing because we're human beings already, right? How do we become a professional? Let's go there. I reckon let's go there and do some fun stuff. The thing is, you didn't come here to get it right. You came here to be human. To err is human. That's kind of the point. From a spiritual point of view, you are already whole and complete. You already have everything of divine perfection contained within you, or it contains you. You already know how to do perfect. You already know how to do clean lines. You already know how to have that complete angelic viewpoint. You already know how to do that. It's not why you came here to Earth. Why you came here to Earth is to make mistakes, is to feel and to experience and to explore this crazy world that we are living in that just got a little bit more crazy, don't you think? We came here to experience imperfection because we're already perfect. We already know that. We already know how to do that. We came here to experience something different, a different aspect of the world. Striving for perfection seems to be something that humans do really well. We try to keep pushing ourselves towards being perfect. And here's the irony here. There's going to be quite a lot of paradoxes in this conversation because it seems to be a very human thing to do to strive for perfection, yet we're already perfect. We did not come here to be perfect. We came here to make mistakes. We came here to feel. We came here to think and maybe overfeel and overthink. We came here to not get it right. How does that feel within your body? How does that feel within yourself to not get it right? to not know the answers, to have no certainty. It can be a little bit overwhelming. And I think that it's contributing right now to the way in which the world is. Most of us take certainty for granted. Most of us feel like our jobs are secure, or our relationships are secure, or at least our food on the table is secure. We feel like there's a whole bunch of security when we create this world, so we feel secure and safe. When the reality is that none of it is actually secure. The human life is so fragile. A virus comes and can kill millions of us. And the reality is that none of us are getting out alive anyway. Yes, we don't wish to suffer, yet we will in our life. Yes, we wish that the people that we love stay alive, yet if you live long enough, you'll watch them all pass away. And yes, we feel like we don't want to die, but yet that's going to happen as well. The paradox of being human is that we think that we can control everything. We think that we can have a whole bunch of certainty that just simply doesn't exist. Really, the only thing that you can be certain of is uncertainty. If you can get to a point where you can feel within yourself that everything's going to change eventually. Everything does change from moment to moment. Every single thing in human existence, beyond human existence, in the planets, in our world, in our universe, in our multiverse, everything changes. That is guaranteed. It's probably one of the few certainties that we have in the world. They say death and taxes, right? But some people don't have taxes. And death is just a change. It's another transition. This is human. We came here to experience a world, to learn some stuff, share some stuff, and to fade into the next thing that we change it into. The point is that we don't know. The point of being human is that we can't possibly control everything. And in these COVID times, of course, we can practice our physical distancing. We can practice isolation. We can practice washing our hands, not touching our face, and doing all those things. All of those are true. We can do that. But the outcome, we can't control. We can minimize, we can impact, but whatever will be, will be. Our power comes in embracing the unknown. And that is one of the elements of becoming a professional human being. Your stock standard human being compared to your professional human being. I'm going to go into detail in this conversation. Let's look at human being. 2 words, not one. We might say that we are human, but we are a human being. That's the way in which scientists, that's the way in which the world is described. When we say we're human, it's just a shortened version for saying we're a human being. Think about the word being for a moment. Well, it has multiple things because an animal is a being, isn't it? When we talk about there maybe being other life forms in the planet, we talk about an extraterrestrial being, some being that exists. Being is also a state, is it not? Well, I'm being a brat right now. I'm being generous. I'm being overcompensated. Being is to be something. We are being human. That's why it's called a human being. That is what our being is at the moment. We are being human. It's more accurate to say being human than it is saying human being. In fact, even in our language, we would very rarely put it the other way around, wouldn't we? We're not saying considerate being. We're saying being considerate. We're being human, and they're 2 different things. You are the being and you are human. And the human experience is different to the being experience. Our being, our sense of connection to the bigger wide world universe is experiencing human. We are being the human. Are you with me? Human is flesh. Human is form. Human is matter. It is not being most of the time. And even when we're in a state of being, in that moment we're being with our humanness. We're being with our feelings. We're being with compassion. The human is the experience. And yes, we can do human professionally. Because when we do human, we can experience the being on an even deeper level. We can do being human with more skill. This is not to master the humanness. It's not so that you get to the point where you transcend humanness and you never feel again and you never think again and you never make mistakes again and you finally get to perfection. Yet enlightenment is the awakening of ourselves. That's what enlightenment means, is to awaken. If we can bring consciousness to our humanness, then we get a different outcome. It's not about moving away from all the imperfections that make us human. To me, being a professional human being is actually about embracing being human. It's about understanding your flaws. It's about knowing that you're imperfect. It's about coming to terms with your thoughts and your feelings and accepting that that's the way that you are, rather than trying to stop yourself from being that. You've got plenty of time in different lives, depending on what you believe in. This is what I believe in. You've got plenty of time in all your other lives to be something else, to be your perfect, to be that, to be all of which that you are. You came here to be human, to err, to make mistakes, to fumble and to have no clue. You came here to experience the fragility of life, that it doesn't last, that things change. You came here to experience the discomfort of that. I want you to imagine that there are two angels up in heaven, apply to whatever belief that you need to, and they're having a conversation. And one of the angels is there saying, you know what, I really would love to feel the forgiveness of God. Whatever you see as God, again, just make it applicable. I really would like to feel the forgiveness of God because God is so mighty and can forgive so much. I would love to feel that. And the angel goes, well, why don't you ask God? Cool. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, God, I've been really feeling that I would like to experience this. And God goes, well, have you gone out into heaven to figure it out? Yeah, I have, God, and I just find that, well, we're all perfect beings up here. There's really nothing to forgive. Oh, God says, yeah. Okay, well, how do you think you might like to experience it? And angel number 2 pipes up and says, you know what, I've got an idea. How about you and I, angel 1, angel 2, head on down to earth and I help you experience forgiveness? What do you reckon? And angel 1 goes, what? You would do that for me? You would take yourself out of this heavenly state, land yourself into the human form and teach me about forgiveness? You would do that? Angel 2 goes, yep. I love you so much. It's exactly what you want this so badly. I want to give it to you. I've just got one condition. Angel 1 goes, yeah, of course, anything. Angel 2 goes, when we get down there, maybe you have forgotten who you are. Please, I ask that moment where I do the thing that requires forgiveness, that you remember our conversation. Remember that I came here from love. Remember that you came here because you wanted to experience what it was like to forgive on a godly level. And angel 1 says, of course I'll remember. How often do we forget? How often do we forget that we want to experience a whole broad range of things when we come here for human? We get so caught up in the humanness of it that we forget that what we came here is to experience things. And to become a professional human being is about understanding the bigger picture. It's about remembering that you came here to experience all this kind of stuff. Here are a few examples of how you know that you're doing human. How you know that human is what's going on, and this is across the board. Number one, you don't have a clue. If you don't have a clue what's going on in your life and in your world, and you feel like you're fumbling through things, you're not alone. That's human. It is human to fumble through your life and maybe feel like you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 70 and still haven't figured it out yet. Yeah, you're human. So not having a clue is the first signal of being human. To become a professional human being is about surrendering to that. Surrendering to the fact that you don't need to know. You don't need to have the answers. Surrendering to the uncertainty of not having a clue is how we transform not having a clue in human form to being a professional human being. The second marker of how you know you're being human is by feeling and thinking, and sometimes overthinking, sometimes overfeeling, sometimes just it's all kind of overwhelming. The way in which we translate that into professional human being is by validating ourselves, by giving us the love that we so need, because heck, being human can be hard and overwhelming. Giving yourself the love and the validation and the understanding. That's what takes feelings and thoughts into the professional level. The third marker of being a human is failure. Making mistakes, is stuffing up, doing it wrong, just fumbling your way through, but making a lot of mistakes. That is really human. To take it to a professional human being point of view is to understand that it's all progress. To not take the failure as personal. To love the journey of making mistakes, because that's how you progress and that's how you learn more and experience more, which is exactly what you came here to do. The fourth way that you know that you're being human is by trying to get it right. When you're trying to get it right and trying to get to perfection, then you know that you're being human. Doing it professionally means that you understand that there is no wrong way. You can't make a wrong decision. It just leads you down a different path. All roads lead to Rome. Once again, you came here to experience, and you can't get it wrong. Even if you make mistakes, you're progressing, you're learning. That's the point. That's how you be a professional human being when it comes to that. And the fifth way that you know that you're being a human being is not really understanding who you are. Maybe not really knowing who you are. The way that we make that professional is to get to know yourself, to spend time with yourself, to pay attention to the nuances of yourself. It's complicated. I read a beautiful quote just the other day that said, "You did not come here to be understood. You came here to understand yourself." Once again, the professionalness of this is by coming inward, actually, to understand you from a point of view, to get to know who you are. Relish in the nuances that some days you feel one way and some days you feel the other. Heck, maybe in some moment you feel one way and then in a moment you feel another. It's your nuanced self. Get to know it. Being a professional human being means that you relish in your humanity, and then you awaken out of the idea that you have to be a certain way. That's being a professional human being. Taking yourself out of yourself a little bit. Still doing all the human stuff that you are because you're human, and yet giving yourself the opportunity to learn and love the lesson. Being that angel number one who remembers why they came here. You came here to experience it all, whether you like it or not, in the human form. Relish in that. What do you think? What has this brought up for you? I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings on this. This is an interesting topic and I'm super curious to know what your thoughts are. Shoot me through a comment, leave something somewhere on whatever platform you're watching or listening to this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And thank you for watching. All the way to this end on this crazy tangent that I felt like going on this week. And thank you for listening and tuning in wherever you do on a regular basis. New episodes come out every Friday and are available on YouTube, podcast, as well as Facebook. So make sure you check out all the other episodes. And please, if you're on YouTube, subscribe. That's how you're going to be able to get the notifications every week of when I upload new content. If you feel like you could take your human being to the next level by being a little bit more professional about it, then get in touch with me. All of my listeners, all of my watchers get access to a free discovery session one-on-one with me where we can explore these themes, explore how perhaps you could take off that container, take off the mask that you've been wearing so that you can experience human from a completely different field. Get in touch with me. Love yourself at moreconfidence.com.au. Send me a text 0403 981 597 or catch me on any of the socials or on my website www.moreconfidence.com.au. I so look forward to hearing your thoughts about this. It is my absolute pleasure to share this human journey with you. I love you so very much. And until we meet again, happy self-loving.